Some of you are not miserable. Some of you are not broken. Some of you are not lazy, unmotivated, dramatic, weak, or incapable of being happy. Some of you are just living in a body and brain that has been overstimulated for so long that ordinary life has stopped reaching you. And I need you to really hear that, because there's a specific kind of emptiness that happens when you have spent months or years constantly outsourcing your dopamine, partying to feel alive, scrolling to avoid silence, drinking to feel loose, smoking to feel calm, taking stimulants to function, taking something else to come down, using attention, chaos, food, sex, shopping, drama, caffeine, nicotine, or validation to create a feeling your nervous system no longer knows how to generate naturally. And then one day you wake up and everything feels gray. Music doesn't hit the same, your room feels depressing, your goals feel far away, your body feels heavy, your hobbies feel pointless, your friends feel irritating, your phone is boring but you still can't put it down, you're tired but you cannot rest, you're overstimulated but somehow underwhelmed. You're not having fun anymore, you're just trying to feel normal. And that's the part nobody wants to say out loud. At a certain point, a lot of people stop chasing pleasure and start chasing relief. That is the shift. That's the moment the party stops being freedom and starts becoming maintenance. That's the moment the stimulant stops feeling like confidence and starts feeling like survival. That's the moment the scrolling stops being entertainment and starts becoming anesthesia. That's the moment the weekend stops being fun and starts becoming your only escape from a life your nervous system cannot tolerate sober. And I'm not here to shame anyone. I say that all the time because I've been in this position. So there's no shame. I'm not here to tell you to become a monk, delete every app, never party again, never drink again, never take medication, never have fun, and live off sunlight and discipline. That's not reality, but I am here to tell you something that might change your life. Your brain adapts to what you repeatedly give it, and your nervous system keeps receipts. Dopamine is not just a pleasure chemical. That is an oversimplification. Dopamine is deeply involved in motivation, reward, learning, anticipation, and the feeling of I want to move towards this. It's a part of what makes effort feel worth it. It's a part of what makes a goal feel exciting. It's a part of what makes life feel like it has momentum. So when you constantly flood your reward system with high intensity stimulation, your brain does what brains do. It adapts. It starts adjusting to the level of stimulation you keep feeding it. The intense becomes normal, the normal becomes boring, the quiet becomes uncomfortable, the healthy becomes underwhelming, the slow becomes unbearable. And that is where people start thinking, what's wrong? Why don't I enjoy anything? Why can't I just be happy? Why do I need something to look forward to? Why do I feel dead unless I'm doing something extreme? Because you have trained your brain to expect fireworks, and now a candle feels like darkness. That's not a character flaw, that is a neuroadaptation. Now I want to be very clear about something so my message is not misconstrued. This is not an anti-medication video. ADHD medication can be life-changing. Anxiety medication can be life-changing. Sleep medication, when used responsibly and medically, can help people through brutal seasons. Medication isn't a moral failure. Treatment is not weakness. Some people need medication the way some people need glasses. Not to cheat life, but to participate in it. So please don't hear me saying medication is bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is something different. I'm talking about the culture of chemical compensation. The pattern where people are not treating a condition, they are medicating an unsustainable lifestyle, a stimulant to wake up, caffeine to push harder, nicotine to regulate stress, a drink to loosen up, a pill to calm down, a sleep aid to shut the body off, a scroll session to avoid thinking, a party to escape the week, a dopamine hit to avoid the emptiness. And suddenly your entire day becomes a chemistry project. You're not living from your body anymore, you're managing your body from the outside. That's the danger, not the existence of medication. The danger is when your life becomes so dysregulated that you need something external for every internal state. Something to get up, something to focus, something to socialize, to relax, to sleep, to feel attractive, to feel brave, something to feel less, something to feel anything. And again, no judgment. I'm just asking you to notice the cost, because the bill always comes. Outsourced dopamine is rented happiness, and rent always comes due. The come down isn't random, the crash isn't random, the anxiety after the party isn't random, the emotional flatness after overstimulation isn't random, the Sunday dread, the irritability, the inability to focus, the craving for more intensity, the weird sadness after a fun night. That is your nervous system trying to rebalance after being pulled out of a rhythm. The higher you artificially push yourself, the harder your body has to work to return to baseline. And if you do that repeatedly, baseline itself starts to feel like a punishment. That is where people get so trapped, because once normal life feels bad, you need more stimulation just to escape the discomfort that the stimulation helped create. That is the loop. The thing you use to numb the emptiness can deepen the emptiness. The thing you use to feel alive can make ordinary life feel dead. The thing you use to escape yourself can make returning to yourself feel unbearable. And this doesn't only apply to heavy drugs or partying, this applies to the socially acceptable stuff too. Endless caffeine, compulsive scrolling, constant background noise, online shopping, random hookups, drama, porn, binge eating, gambling, validation, checking who watched your story, refreshing your notifications, needing a package coming in the mail just to feel excited, needing plans every weekend because sitting with yourself feels like withdrawal, needing chaos because peace feels suspicious, needing intensity because you do not know how to feel steady. We live in a world where boredom has been almost completely removed. You never have to stand in a line with your own thoughts. You never have to eat alone without a video. You never have to go to sleep without stimulation. You never have to feel awkward in public without checking your phone. You never have to be sad without numbing. You never have to be empty without filling yourself with something. But here's the problem: if you never let yourself feel a state, you never learn how to regulate it. If you outsource every uncomfortable feeling, your internal regulation system never gets stronger. Your nervous system becomes like a person who cannot walk because it has been carried everywhere. That is why the first moment of silence can feel terrifying. That is why a normal evening at home can feel depressing. That is why rest can feel like failure. That is why peace can feel like boredom. That is why stability can feel like a lack of chemistry. Some of you don't actually hate your life. You hate the withdrawal from constant stimulation. Some of you are not bored. You are overstimulated. Some of you are not unmotivated. Your reward system has been trained to only respond to intensity. Some of you are not disconnected because you're cold. You are disconnected because you have spent years avoiding the conversations your body has been trying to have with you. Your body's been saying that it's tired. You gave it caffeine. Your body said that it's anxious. You gave it distraction. Your body said that it's lonely. You gave it attention. Your body said that it's sad. You gave it a party. Your body said that it's overwhelmed. You gave it a screen. Your body said that it needs care. You gave it stimulation. And after a while, the body stops whispering. It starts screaming. The panic attack, the burnout, the numbness, the insomnia, the lack of desire, the loss of appetite, or the constant cravings, the inability to enjoy anything slow. The need to always have a plan, a hit, a person, a substance, a noise, a distraction. That's not your body betraying you. That's your body telling the truth you keep avoiding. And I know this is uncomfortable, but stay with me. Because the point is not to make you feel guilty. Guilt doesn't heal people. Awareness does. I've felt like this before, guys, and I've reformed my life around this. So it's not like I've never experienced this and I'm speaking about it from just such a psychological point of view. No, I know how hard it is to get out of the loop. So I'm just telling you that it's possible to do it, and within reason and with balance, of course. The question isn't, am I a bad person for wanting pleasure? No. Pleasure is human, celebration is human, wanting relief is human. Wanting to feel beautiful, alive, free, social, confident, relaxed, all of that is human. The question is, am I choosing pleasure or am I using pleasure to escape myself? Am I having fun or am I trying to outrun my own mind? Am I resting or am I sedating? Am I connecting or am I performing connection while staying emotionally unavailable? Am I using this substance, this app, this person, this habit as an addition to my life or as a substitute for a life I do not want to feel? Because there's a difference between pleasure and avoidance. Pleasure expands you. Avoidance slowly makes your world smaller. Pleasure leaves you more connected to yourself. Avoidance leaves you needing more. Pleasure has an afterglow. Avoidance has a come down. And deep down, you know the difference. You know when something is actually nourishing you, and you know when something is borrowing happiness from tomorrow. That is one of the coldest truths in self-help. A lot of fun is just emotional debt with good lighting. You could keep swiping the card, but eventually your nervous system declines the transaction. So how do you come back? Not through perfection, not through shame, not through announcing a new era and trying to become a different person overnight. You come back by rebuilding your sensitivity to life. That is the real goal. Not dopamine detox in some dramatic internet way. Not making yourself miserable to prove discipline. Not quitting everything and acting superior. The goal is to make ordinary life rewarding again. To make your brain responsive to natural rewards again. To make simple things feel good again. Sleep, food, movement, sunlight, music, deep work, real conversation, creating something, finishing something, cleaning your space, walking without headphones, cooking a meal, reading 10 pages, stretching, laughing with someone sober, making art, building a body, building a skill, keeping a promise, being proud of yourself for something that does not require an audience. That's how you return to yourself. You do not heal your reward system by consuming more. You heal it by participating in your own life. Create more than you consume. That line is everything, because consumption gives you a hit. Creation gives you identity. Consumption distracts you. Creation reconnects you. Consumption makes time disappear. Creation makes time meaningful. You don't need to become boring. You need to become less dependent on chaos to feel alive. You can still go out. You can still have fun. You can still enjoy intensity, but you can't abandon yourself all week and call the weekend self-care. You can't prison your baseline and then wonder why peace feels unreachable. You can't sleep for 4 hours, skip meals, scroll for 6 hours, drink through your anxiety, use stimulants to outrun exhaustion, take something else to come down, and then ask why life feels empty. That's not a mystery. That's math. Your nervous system isn't a machine. It's not here to be hacked, punished, forced, flooded, deprived, sedated, and dragged through life. It's alive. It learns from repetition. It responds to rhythm. It requires recovery. And if you keep treating your body like an obstacle to your lifestyle, eventually your body will become the loudest thing in your life. The way back is not always glamorous at first. At first, natural dopamine feels quiet. A walk won't hit like a night out. A book won't hit like scrolling. A healthy meal won't hit like a binge. A calm relationship will not hit like toxic chemistry. A sober morning will not hit like artificial confidence. But that doesn't mean it's not working. It means your nervous system is recalibrating. At first, peace feels boring when your body is addicted to activation. At first, stability feels empty when chaos has been your main source of aliveness. At first, healthy feels underwhelming when your brain has been trained to expect extremes. You have to give your brain time to remember subtly. You have to let your nervous system become sensitive again, sensitive to sunlight, sensitive to effort, sensitive to real connections, sensitive to music that doesn't need to be attached to a substance, sensitive to laughter that isn't forced, sensitive to a morning that doesn't start in panic, sensitive to pride that doesn't come from being perceived, sensitive to joy that doesn't require escaping your life first. And this is where balance becomes spiritual, because balance isn't about being clean, perfect, pure, disciplined, or better than anyone. Balance is about not needing to leave yourself to enjoy your life. That's the whole point. The goal isn't sobriety for everyone. The goal is sovereignty. The goal is to be able to ask yourself, can I sit with myself? Can I feel good without performing? Can I rest without guilt? Can I focus without panic? Can I socialize without needing to become someone else? Can I be alone without reaching for a hit? Can I experience pleasure without becoming dependent on intensity? Can I enjoy my life without constantly escaping it? Because that is freedom. Not being untouched by temptation, not being above pleasure, not being hyper-disciplined. Freedom is when your nervous system is not being dragged around by every craving, every cue, every notification, every come down, every emotional low, every external source of stimulation. Freeing is being able to choose the night out without needing it, to choose rest without guilt, to choose medication responsibly without abusing your body, to choose pleasure without turning it into a hiding place, to choose silence without fearing what might come up. And for anyone listening who feels like, okay, but I'm already deep in it, I want you to hear me. You are not doomed. The brain is adaptive in both directions. The same brain that learned overstimulation can learn steadiness. The same nervous system that learned chaos can learn safety. The same body that learned to brace can learn to soften, but you have to stop making your brain climb a mountain just to reach neutral. Start with your baseline. Sleep like it matters, because it does. Eat like your brain is an organ, because it is. Move your body before you diagnose your entire personality. Get sunlight before you decide your life is hopeless. Clean your room before you call yourself a failure. Spend 1 hour creating before you spend 5 hours consuming. Let yourself be bored long enough for your own thoughts to come back online, and if substances, medication misuse, alcohol, or any habit feels beyond your control, get help without turning it into a shame identity. Needing support doesn't mean you failed. It means you are done pretending your nervous system can carry this alone. There's no prize for suffering privately. And please, if you're taking prescribed medication, don't just stop suddenly because of a YouTube video. Talk to a professional, be wise, be honest, be supervised. This is not about fear, this is about respect. Respect for your brain, respect for your body, respect for the future version of you who deserves to wake up and feel real again, because that version is still in there, under the overstimulation, under the numbness, under the chaos, under the come down, under the coping mechanisms, under the version of you that keeps saying, I just need one more thing to feel okay. There's a version of you that doesn't need to be constantly rescued from your own life, and that version is not built through intensity. It is built through returning to your body, returning to your rhythms, returning to creation, returning to honest pleasure, returning to quiet, returning to the kind of joy that doesn't punish you afterward. So no, maybe you're not miserable. Maybe your brain is just tired of being hijacked. Maybe your body is tired of being negotiated with. Maybe your soul is tired of being sedated, stimulated, distracted, and dragged through a life it never agreed to. Maybe the answer is not another high. Maybe it is learning how to feel life again at its natural volume. And when you do, everything changes, because the most beautiful thing in the world is not being constantly excited. It's being fully alive. Not artificially lifted, not chemically borrowed, not digitally numbered, not emotionally outsourced, just present, clear, sensitive, steady, able to enjoy the small things again because your brain is no longer screaming for the extreme. That is the real glow up. Not becoming someone who never has fun, becoming someone who no longer has to abandon themselves to feel it. I'm Zora, and this is my aura. Thank you for watching.